So we're here at Origins with Mark Walker. We're here at Flying Pig Games, and today we're going to kind of sit down and have a quick discussion about a brand new game that's in the printers, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
And this is called, let me get it right, Platoon Commander Deluxe, The Battle of Kursk.
Sure, you got it.
Okay, so I'm going to have you just kind of walk us through what this game is, and we'll kind of talk about some of the nuances of it.
That's great. Well, first off, the name is a mouthful, and I almost changed it midstream, but decided against it. It's a platoon level game that simulates many of the skirmishes that took place in Kursk in 1943, which was, many people consider it the last strategic German offensive of World War II, had some huge tank battles. It's a continuation of the Platoon Commander Deluxe system from Tiny Battle, but honestly it's had so many improvements, polishings, nuances added. I seriously considered dropping the Platoon Commander Deluxe name and just calling it the Battle of Kursk. So that's the basic background of it, and what else can I say?
So in the game, when I hit Kursk, I hear tank battles.
Yep.
Is this more of a combined arms games, or is it very tank heavy? What can we expect in a skirmish?
That's a great question. That's a great question. No, it's definitely more combined arms. There isn't there's a couple of scenarios that are purely tanks, but it's definitely basically like Kursk was. There weren't sweeping tank battles. As a matter of fact, that's why the Germans didn't break through. They had 3 defensive belts to break through, but it was a combined arm type battle. Usually, depending on the scenario, is few as 10 to 12 units on the side, and as many as 30 to 35 units on the side. The scenarios can take from about 1 to 3 hours. I would consider this game very simple and accessible. We've done away with many of the things that confuse gamers in range combat. In platoon level games, for example. Will that focus on that, or
it's
am I
probably too
wasting
small? But
time?
we'll show them some pictures.
Sounds good. Okay, we just have 5 numbers on these counters. We've done away with ranges and stuff like that. The ranges are color coded by the block that the counter by the block that the number is on. So it's a very simple thing to look at the range band that your tank or your infantry can fire. Combat is very simple. You just subtract a unit's defensive value from the attacker's value, and you get a column on this fire results table. You roll a 1d10. I know some of you that have followed the Platoon Commander series are going, 1d10, what's up with that? Yeah, we changed to 1d10 because it gave us more granularity as far as morale goes and as far as combat and results go and things like that. Other improvements that I'd like to talk about are we've added artillery rules, loot players, and bongos. If you guys can hear those, I don't know. It's a directional mic.
They can definitely hear it, though.
And he's not even really playing a lute. It's a 6-string steel guitar, but whatever. Okay, back to the game. We've added better artillery rules. Not more complex. You're still playing a card to call an artillery strike, but now rather than attacking one hex, it's a series of hexes that you attack. You also can have air strikes now. We have zones of control in this game. Yeah, I know there's nothing new about zones of control, but really in a platoon level game there is. And the reason we put that in there is, of course you can opportunity fire. That's a basis of any tactical game. But with these zones of control, even a unit that is opportunity fired can slow down units that are attempting to move right in its vicinity, unless that unit is disrupted. So gamers end up using kind of realistic tactics. They suppress units so they can swamp and move by those units. It's hard to think of everything at once.
Yeah. But it sounds like there's a lot of really cool new stuff. People who are familiar with the Platoon Commander Deluxe series, is this something that they'll be very easy to kind of just pick up right where they left off with the other titles?
Super easy. They could ignore everything I just said and just play the game, and it would play. But also just skimming the rules, and you'll see the items that are new, and pick it up very quickly. Very quickly. It's the same events that we use, same actions that we used. You roll for initiative, you draw one of the fate cards that you get every turn, then you alternate attacks, which is one of the nice things in this system is one person attacks, the next person attacks. So you're always involved in the system, but then after all attacks are done, one whole side will move any units it wants, then the other side will move. Then you use a couple of things called the aid and focus markers, which really let you add a bump to any section of the battle that you would like and give you a better chance for success. Then you clean everything up and start over. So yeah.
So that's nice. I know this game, you said it was at the printers. When can we expect to have this on our tables getting played?
Well, normally it takes about 3 to 4 months once we submit things to the printers. So that was last month, not last month, that was last week. So what's 4 plus June, October. Yeah.
And then do you have anything else in the works that we can kind of get excited about outside of this?
Well, of course, Crowbar, that you guys know about because you talked with Herm. And then we also have a combat game that is purely card-based called La Resistance, and it's about the French resistance in World War II. It's my shot at making a game that my wife would play. So you are controlling, originally it was called Kaiju Summer. And I took the mechanics from Kaiju Summer and transferred them and set them in World War II to the French resistance. You assume the role of a resistance leader leading a band of resistance fighters. And there's 4 to 6 of you can each play these resistance bands, and then you have a deck of cards in front of you. You're flipping over 3 cards from that deck of cards, and what you might flip over might be a telecommunication station, it might be a fuel depot, and the last one might be a Panzer Grenadier patrol. You roll dice once and fill in blanks on these cards. If you're able to fill in the blanks for all the cards for the fueling station, you capture it and get the victory points and have more glory around you. If you don't fill in the blanks for the Panzer Grenadier, it attacks you, doing that much damage to you, which is measured in recruits that you lose from your band. And the first person that gets to 10 victory points or enables the other recruits, the other leaders to lose their recruits, wins the game.
That sounds really exciting. How far down the line is that?
Oh, it'll be out next Tuesday. That's a joke. That's a joke. It should be on the website here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's hard to predict exactly when it'll be out because the next Kickstarter, as you all know, is Crowbar. The next one after that's going to be Old School Tactical Volume 3.
And that one's in the Pacific, correct?
That's in the Pacific, yeah.
Is there anything you can kind of tell us about that's going to add us extra or new in the OST system?
Well, we're still playtesting the rules for that. The counters are beautiful. You know, I want to immediately start playing with this game myself. Shane's got some very creative ideas for the Japanese. It'll have your beach landings that everybody wants. It'll have your desperate fights in the jungles. It'll be on your typical beautiful Shane Logan maps, and I can't wait for it.
That sounds very exciting. So I appreciate you sitting down and talking with us. A lot to look forward to coming from Flying Pig Games here in the near future, and also to come as well in the next few months and into next year. Thank you very much. We've been thePlayersaid.com. We'll see you next time.
Fantastic. Thank you. Take care.